brothers of legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
With the old man. All right.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. The
Right.
the young king, the
Oh,
young
the young
prince, he
king.
was here doing a morning conversation, check-in,
Oh,
and
awesome.
rub it in my face that he's going for a walk, and I'm not.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. How old is he?
22.
Wow.
22.
Awesome.
To be 22 again. Nah.
Nah,
I
go 25, maybe 30.
Nah.
30.
Oh, 30. I'll take 30.
30, maybe 25.
30. I had a surprise birthday party at Dave and Buster's. I like that. I would do that again. I'll do that again over and over again.
Gotcha. Yeah, Sam, mine was on 40. Sam blessed me. Yeah, he went to surprise. What up, Thomas? Good morning, sir.
Do you like surprises?
I love them.
Oh yeah,
I love them. I like surprises.
For me, the surprise can be ruined, but it's the thought that goes into surprise. It's like I appreciate it that much more, because I know what's required. Like I had a feeling that Tom's going to show up today.
Yeah, the feeling.
Hopped in, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it every Thursday because that was. I mean, if I could make more, I definitely.
Yeah, that's where he started out on Thursdays. He was only on Thursdays.
So when you said surprises,
yes,
it's really good to get a surprise, but the only way you can surprise me is if it's thoughtful. You're trying to just kind of rush something and put something together, and you're gonna give me some kind of hint or whatever, and I'm gonna figure it out.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Jeff.
Thoughtful.
Good morning, Mama Corey, Lisa. Yeah,
I love surprises though.
Yeah. Surprises are always nice. They're just exactly what they are. Surprises.
My dog ruined one last year, and it was a good one too. My brother flew in from California the night before.
Okay.
Then my other brother drove up with my mom and other family members from North Carolina, and my birthday's at the end of the month. They did it at the beginning of the month.
Okay,
totally caught me off guard.
Way off.
The plan was, they all stayed at the hotel right by the gym I work out at. Right. And I was gonna have me working out and get them to come in and just like catch me at the gym, right? But my little dog, she had just got spayed like a week ago, and she was towards the end of her recovery. And that morning, come down, she broke out of her cone, and she licked all the sutures off, destroyed her scar. So I'm rushing her to the vet that morning. Where it's like, what are you doing? It's like, we gotta take care of the little girl. And get back home. I'm sitting there nursing her after everything was done, holding her and everything. Yeah, I'm a little punk. And then all of a sudden I hear my door open up. I'm like, wait up, who's coming to my house? And they all come walking in. And I was like, oh, so this was the surprise, huh? I'm like, all right.
Surprise.
I was like, you gotta let me know that door is open, because now I'm ready, like, oh man, I don't even have the hammer with me. Like, somebody's breaking in. But I was like, all right, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good. Yeah. Surprises are nice. Just like our surprise on Sunday.
Oh.
Our surprise on Sunday. Let me ask this. Did you guys see it coming at all?
Oh no. I was chilling with my brother and my sister-in-law. We were just all just hanging out, just chilling at snow. What the? This just happened. What?
Listen, oh my God. I had to dig to make sure it was true. Like Newsbreak be like some real clickbaity stuff. Man. They really like Newsbreak is really clickbaity. So I'm like, Let me Google this and see,
Oh, see, like I told
see
you,
if they're confirming this.
like I said the other day, it was Apple News. So,
He said Apple News. It had to be
Apple
true.
News, they get it before the person even know they want to say it.
I know, like they're like
I
how
stands
TMZ
for
used to be.
investigate. Investigate
Right. Apple investigated.
Yeah, we gathered around the TV right after this to confirm.
Okay, so
like, wow.
Jeff says the news.
Wait a
was
minute,
saying it could happen.
Larry. You still gather around the TV?
Yeah. We did that time. We gathered around the TV.
Not gather. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. Our last gathering was the daggone insurrection. That's our my kids and I forgot what we were watching, what was going on. But it, of course, obviously got interrupted. We was actually watching regular network TV, and we was just like, what is this?
Wow.
What in the world? Like,
Yeah.
y'all watching?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Is this real?
But here go before that, what was the major gathering? 9/11. 9/11. I think everybody gathered for
there's
that.
probably another one after that.
Was it?
I don't know.
Mike
shutdown or COVID.
Kinda.
We was happy that we didn't go to the office.
It was happy at first, It's like the first day you get fired. It's fine right now. It's fine. It's fine. I think ours was we didn't gather for that. That was like more or less, news that just constantly happened. You watch it like cases here, cases there. What is this gonna be life forever? Because that was a constant question. Like, okay, so is this going? Obama's first.
That was a gathering.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say the inauguration. I'll say the when he won the election.
When he won, where were you? Where was I?
I went to a election party.
I was there.
I did.
Oh wow, you was at a party. That's good. That's nice.
Actually, we gathered and then we marched from the party down to Liberty Bell.
Oh, because you in Virginia.
I just followed the crowd. With the crowd, we went to Liberty Bell, and then people just started. It was all impromptu.
Gotcha.
People were just showing love. It was weird.
Ours, weirdly, was Michael Jackson's death. I was at somebody else's house when it happened, and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they was on the news talking about it, and it's crazy. So I remember who reported first that Mike died. It was TMZ. Someone had a TMZ alert on their phone. It was like TMZ said Mike died. And while the doctor was saying, we're still trying to see, we're touch and go. I was like, how in the world TMZ know before everybody else? Yo,
someone got paid. That's how.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
It was close to midnight.
Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. TMZ. I feel like TMZ is because you ever know, like for a long time, TMZ always had pictures and stuff that nobody else had.
How is that?
Well, wow, they were always the first to have stuff.
They got a hotline. It's like, shoot, I got this inside information. It's gonna check out. I need a check.
I need a check. Speaking of checks, let's get Kadeem Curvey in the building, maybe.
Easy.
So on Sunday, you asked the question:
what up?
How many got caught off guard with the information?
Yes, for the Sunday information.
We've been kicking the theory around in our household that this is going to happen anyway.
Really?
We've been talking about this for months.
Okay.
And when it happened, it wasn't too much of a shock. It was just kind of like, told you. And I saw it on my phone first. Usually, my wife gets the information first.
Gotcha.
But I was looking at my phone and really fact checked it really quick and just hollered out, "Hey, Obama's out! I mean, Biden's out! Biden's out!
Right.
Quit."
But you didn't gather around the TV, huh? You gathered around the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
gather around the phone.
we don't even gather around the phone. Pick your own phone up.
Get your own phone, fool.
Pick your own phone up and start. Now we sit next to each other, looking at our phones, scrolling through information, and I'm looking at sites, she's looking
Trying to
at
see
sites.
what's real. What is going on? That's funny. Hey, Samantha. Good morning, ma'am.
What's up, Kenny?
Hey, Sam.
Morning, Sam.
Mr. Kirby.
All right. So,
yes,
of course.
sir. Yes, sir. What is going on, my brothers, man? It's always a pleasure to see you guys, man. It starts the day off right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, look at
There you
that.
go.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Appreciate you. Sir.
But yeah,
When was
I
the last
wonder.
time?
Hey, quick disclaimer.
Go ahead.
And I might get a little pushback. I might get a little flack.
It's all good. Let's go. Let's go.
But my shoulders wide enough to handle it. So I wonder how Reese on the radio feel about Pamela.
Okay.
And I got one more.
I don't need that one. But go ahead.
All you gotta do is go on his show. You'll find out. But anyways, go.
I'm curious to hear what my brother Brian McCory, how he feel about the situation.
Did you catch what AD dropped yesterday?
Did you watch the show yesterday at all? Did you see any of it?
I was, man. The whole week been a blur, man. I've been.
I got you.
I got a whole another story to you, but I want to know them.
Yo, he dug into the archives.
All right.
Oh, really?
About 2 years ago, 2 years. I'm trying to think. I guess when they started, when the race started, I think when it was still fighting for the spot for the Democratic spot.
For president?
Uh-huh. And
that was 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think this was before Joe. So
we in year number 4. So that was 3 years ago.
Okay, so Brian paused and he was gonna light a little fire before the end of the show, and we kind of talked about the next show. So I'm gonna throw the clip up, and I'm gonna see if he still stands in this same space, or what's the term? I've evolved. Either pivot or you evolve in a certain space.
Okay.
But I'm gonna throw this up.
So let me tick off all the women real quick. I do not want to wake up to a female president.
Hey, I didn't even know that.
That's clickbait right there. Though,
I didn't even know that. But
I didn't know what.
What I got to say about my brother, because to each his own. I respect his mind, so you know what I'm saying. Whatever it is, but what I will say about my brother, though, he do not want a woman in power over him.
Oh.
Well,
I might get a little pushback.
I'll say the caveat. He, as far as I know, like the way we've had these conversations, CEO, manager, supervisor, those are fine. He doesn't. We kind of dug into it. He's just saying running the world, running a country or whatever. He takes some issues with that. I can't speak on specifics. It's been a long time since we had the conversation, but I know, like CEO, manager, supervisor, like he doesn't have a problem with that, because we talked about, like I said, that following show. I remember him saying that. But if he gets a chance to come on today or Friday, we'll dig into it.
Like I say, let me give my disclaimer now. I respect his mind. And I respect his position, but I just got my own opinion about that. He do not want a woman having power over him.
So,
and Jeff says he agrees with Pastor. He's against the women.
I'm with Rod though. You can't do a 2-second clip.
Well, is that how it's done in media?
Yeah, that's how it's done.
He takes it out of context.
I'm with Rod there. By the way, back a little bit before, Jeff said, "Larry, you can vote for Trump now."
All right.
Oh, see, he said now Thomas and Larry.
I heard him say Larry. I didn't.
I heard him. I don't know what y'all reading.
I don't see it.
I would get kicked out of my house.
Oh, yeah. Sam said, "Oh no, he's still a chauvinist," and he called himself that as well.
But it's okay to have your own thoughts and opinions
absolutely.
about the way it is and who you're going to vote for and everything else. I share this a lot. You can disagree, just don't be disagreeable. Like,
right.
I'm not.
Right.
Everybody can't be a cookie cutter.
Right.
Everybody can't say I'm gonna vote for this person. Like, for me, out of all the candidates that are left, I know this isn't the popular vote because it's just taking votes away from other people. But Robert Kennedy has the best agenda. Like, if you look at agendas and you're just looking at people who say these are certain things that they're about, he's pushing the best agenda right now. And a lot of times, go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother. My bad. No, I'll interrupt you, brother.
A lot of times, we get so caught up in the blue and red that we forget that there's a country that needs to be led. Ooh, that rhymed. That was a bar right there.
Bars.
Anyway, we get caught up in the blue and red. We forget that there's a country that needs to be led. Oh, that sounds like self-destruction. Anyways, go back. Go ahead, Kenny.
No. All I was saying was Kamala Harris, she been quiet because she been a cheerleader for Biden's agenda. So for the next 90 days, we gonna see what she pushing, because she ain't had a voice. She just been kind of like sitting on the sideline with her pom-poms. But now she the quarterback. Now she the one that control the show. Right. She pushing the narrative. So we'll see what her agenda is. And I'm real hopeful, because this is gonna be must-watch TV right here. I'm real hopeful that it's a debate.
Nah.
I
heard he's not.
He already bailed out.
Already? No, not even one. Not even one.
He's like, she don't call.
Nobody's got time for that. I got people.
So having that lawyer background, you don't want to go up and start trying to argue.
No, he definitely gonna lose that. But if it would have happened, it would have been much watch TV. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hands down.
But I tell you what, though, even if it's a town hall, it ain't gotta be one-on-one debate. But if they get into the town hall, because I think she's gonna have at least one of them, where she go and answer questions.
I get in front of people.
Specific, whatever city she's going to.
She needs to do that. At least,
Hey, she
start off here soft in Atlanta and then move to
because it's different. It's different when you got all your stuff scripted. Hey, I'm gonna talk about this point. I'm gonna talk about this point. But when someone from the public comes off script and asks you a question, hey, I read this in such and such and such and such about Trump. How do you feel about that?
Right.
Now you got to be measured. Now you got to be off the cuff. Yeah. Now you got to tell what's really on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got time to go write it down and do the research. How you feel right now?
Right. Yeah, because she didn't even make it to the vice president debate. That'd have been cool. Oh, there we go.
There
we go. Let me joke. Now y'all want my listening. Absolutely, Reese.
He's like, bring me in, coach.
Absolutely, Reese.
But
Hey, what Reese say? What Reese say?
Oh, he said y'all never let me join in. Now y'all want my opinion. Now he laughed. LOL.
Hey, I was requesting the reason. I was interested because I know how you feel about females who, at certain points in certain avenues, and you know what I'm saying. So I was just curious about your outlook of this woman going for the president of the United States. I was just curious, my brother.
Well, it's not her first time. It's not her first time going for it.
The way I feel about that debate about having a woman as president, we have women in Congress.
Right.
Congress is powerful.
Right.
Yes.
We forget that there's, this other branch of government that's out there making laws, running the country, getting all these kickbacks, all this stuff. And there are women. Yes. There are a lot of women that are a part of Congress leading stuff. And then, they're messy too. We saw the arguments between the butch-built body and the
somebody was on the defense
and extract everything from Congress. you can't deny women in power. Women are in power, and if they decide, we think that the president is the highest office.
Right.
To me, the president for all my life has been a pawn to push other people's agendas. And
I agree.
so, you talk about putting a woman in that position. Well, there's been some men in that position that have just been pawns and used for
Right.
an agenda. And so it's
Mhm.
like, what, that made the man stronger because they could be used as a pawn? No,
That
it
was
doesn't.
that was good.
They're just a bunch of
I thought it was
busters
the thing.
too. So, I
Not
just want to put that
busters.
out there.
That was the second Bush.
Everything you just said, I agree with, Thomas. One thing I will say though
Uh-oh.
is that they was pawns to get there. Don't get me wrong. You got to be into my will in order for me to support you. So they was definitely pawns. But once they get to the seat, once you're sitting in the chair, you got favors that you got to pay.
Uh-oh.
But
Those people paid to get you there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got
Very fair,
favors that you got to pay.
Just because
But
she
you
doesn't
also
agree.
got the
Absolutely
power
agree. I agree
to
with that.
do whatever you choose to because you got that seat. You know what I'm saying? So you is right though. I will say that. But once you get to the seat, what you do with it?
We're gonna get that.
Right.
Reese.
Well, that's the most
hold on.
part is when you get to the seat. You
Yes.
play the game. You play the game to get there. You say the right things and everything, but those paybacks when they come due, more than likely you're paying back. You're looking at the people who paid to get you there, who
Right.
put the money behind you, who backed you, and you're looking at what they're asking you to fall in line with, and you do it because without their money, there is no re-election. There is no anything going on. And so
I agree.
You know what the big example is was
and then what happens is when election year comes back around, you kind of throw some crumbs out there to the people, to the masses, and make it look like, look, I've forgiven student loans or whatever, and so the little people come vote for me. But hey, it's a sleight of hand because I'm still running this other agenda over here also.
That is true.
But again, it's we can't forget about Congress. Congress is a big part of all this.
Right.
So my point about saying the Congress thing is like, quit focusing so much on the president. Get out there and vote some of these other people out that have been ruining the country and $35 trillion in debt. How do you get $35 trillion in debt?
Ain't going up.
You know what? Here's the crazy part. In the year 2000, we had a surplus.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. Absolutely.
Anyways, you got to get spending under control. Otherwise, everything else is just going to fall. So it doesn't matter who's president.
on the witness stand is the one, the only Ryan McCrory.
Ryan McCrory.
Brother Ray, you must have heard me call your name.
You are on the stand.
I came and I just got called out. So I just want y'all to know I came so I wouldn't get fired.
Brian, who texted you and said, man, you need to get on here? TMZ is shouting you out.
Yo, they throwing clips of you, man. They throwing clips of you out there.
I just pulled into another meeting, man. I gotta go.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Just call me.
We'll get your reply later.
Yeah, we get it.
All right.
We'll get it pre-recorded.
All
right.
Yeah.
Up in the chat.
Look who showed up. Yes. Oh, he had to go. Honest question. How has the debt
Well, like you were saying, Thomas, like you talking about, how they, when they are pawn even when they get into office was like Obama when he got Kennedy's endorsement, he had to he committed to the Home Care Affordable Act. That was one of Kennedy's big pushes, and everybody want to call it Obamacare. It was really
Kennedy care.
Yeah, it was Kennedy care.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, there's agendas where you see presidents actually showing up for the people. Obamacare was one of those things that showed up for the people.
Right.
And I don't know if anyone had to get insurance through back then, but for me, as being self-employed, I had to go through the marketplace to get insurance.
Right.
And the prices for the policies were ridiculous. I mean, I was sitting up there and I went in there, signed up. It was like, yeah, do I qualify for this, qualify for that?
Right.
When you put in the deductions that Obamacare put in, man, my personal insurance for two went from $700 and something to like $230. I was like,
Wow.
oh, I can
Nice.
afford that.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I know that's right.
right. And then, but that's Jeff asked the honest question: how does
How's the
debt
debt?
affect anybody's life? This
affect
inflation
you?
that we see has, they got to pay that debt back.
Right.
It's owed to somebody, and if it's owed to
China.
somebody, otherwise it wouldn't be debt.
China.
So
China.
you default on your debt, then what happens? So you got to come up with different ways to continue to make this money.
Right.
Capitalistic society that we live in is one of those areas that you can't forget that capitalism is going to move things, and so the more debt we get into, the more things are going to shift in an unfavorable way for everybody. It's going to be more so I got to pay this debt off, and if I don't pay this bill that's coming due, that can be a problem. So if America goes into default, that's going to be a problem. That's
Absolutely.
one of the ways it affects us.
Okay. So
But inflation is a direct correlation to national debt.
So you think, Thomas, the inflation of food and gas attributed to our debt to China?
What do you think it is? I would love to have Jeff right here and say, like, what do you think? Why do you think inflation is going up? Is it there's a couple reasons why inflation. Greed, corporate greed. We can look at that. We can look at how much things are increasing in price. Products are increasing in price,
Right.
but you still got to pay this debt off. You still have to pay other things, and the more that we have, this debt, the more we're going to have to inflate certain costs in order to make, do. And America has to make its money somehow. And so if we're talking about, minimum wages and everything else, corporations have to make their money, and people have to be employed. And so there's a lot of different things that go into it. And I just think one thing to another, so I honestly believe that, and what I'm really saying is we don't have controlled spending. We need to control spending, and Congress is directly responsible for controlling our spending. It's not the
Right.
president, it's Congress, and they in cahoots together, of course, but you got to approve budgets. But if we're spending trillions, over budget, and we're factoring in debt to our to our economy, it
Yeah.
sucks. It's not a strong place to be.
One
got
thing
you.
I agree with you on that, man, is that if you out here, like, everybody know what EBT is, right?
Yeah.
Anybody heard of TAF? TAFT?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
So basically, the United States is the foundation of a global EBT or TAF system.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you think about it,
Okay.
if you think about it, we got money going to the Middle East, Afghanistan,
Right.
Pakistan, Turkey. We got money going to Ukraine, Poland. We got money going toward Taiwan, Philippines. You got money. You got money going to now. Why we got money going to Australia? I have no idea. Don't nobody even look at Australia when it comes to issues.
Right.
But we giving them money. Like, we giving all these subsidies and monies and breaks, and I'm like, why are we doing all this? Because I could be wrong now. I know about the money going out, but is anybody giving America a handout? Anybody say, hey, we know y'all need $1 billion. Here you go. We know y'all need 500 million. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? We know y'all need 500 tons of corn. Here you go. And I ain't heard that, but if y'all heard, let me
Yeah.
know. But I always hear about, hey, such and such had a typhoon, and we need to go over there and give them $1 billion
Right.
because of
Yeah.
natural disaster. We got to go and take care of that natural disaster too.
So my thought in this is it's a way to kind of keep us as a family. Like you try to, like if I take care of you, if we're here, like I think it keeps us from being too independent. Like if you become independent, figure out your own stuff and do everything by yourself, you might start looking like, I think we can take the US.
Now what you just said, now this light bulb just popped up in my head now.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, like I said, I'm gonna get some pushback.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm gonna apologize for what I'm about to say to you, AD.
With all due respect, we got to start with that. With all due
but
respect.
it's disrespectful, but all due respect. Hey, it sounds like that would be like you saying, AJ, Alexis, y'all can live here forever until you 50, 60 years old, because we're a family. We're a family. Y'all can stay right here. So we supposed to take care of Ukraine because we're a family. We supposed to take care of Australia. We're a family. Hey, Taiwan, we're a family. I want us to always be close. Don't go nowhere. Hey, we love you. Let me rub you on your head. You need,
no.
You ain't got to. You don't want to go out there and spread your wings.
Can I throw a little bit more into that? Because they stay with you to your detriment. They start having families living with you. They start having kids that start coming in living with you. And you were once able to help out with the kids living with you, and that was okay for them to stay. But then they started having families, and now they're eating you out of house and home to the point where you can't afford to live no more. And now the whole house crumbles.
Okay,
that's
so
what it looks like.
So let me throw a caveat, because Rod kind of just answered what I was gonna say, but it's not that they're in this house, right? Kaneem and Thomas, it's that they're next door, right? They're next door, and I'm taking care of. I make sure they straight. Like, you good? I'm sending like money over there, right? Hold on. I'm sending money over there. Of course.
I'm gonna let Thomas handle this. Thomas.
I'm getting loans. Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
I'm getting loans, but I'm sending money. I'm kind of paying my loans, but the bank is cool. Me and the bank cool. I'm sending my money over there. Something happens. Oh shoot, a tree fell on your house. I got you. I got half that. You got the other half. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking care of some things, right? But you're over there planting and building and doing. I'm like, hey, buddy, let me get some of them tomatoes and that cabbage. And hey, your cousin, let him come over here real quick and help me out with this situation and do some things over here. Hey, Alexis, you got that extra gas. Let me get some of that for my lawnmower so I can take care of the extra lawns and do some extra stuff, because I got somebody across the way that needs some assistance too, and I need some of that so I can help them. Right. Then I go to them and I say, hey, you got that you're digging real far. You're doing those Bitcoin mining. Let me get some of that so we can help out and build more of an infrastructure, and build our relationship up. So I think it builds relationships. It's just about relationships.
So let me say this. When are those relationships going to pay you back? Because you're still $35 trillion in debt. And your house is about to fold up because you've been borrowing all this money to robbing Peter to pay Paul. And think that that's making you rich, and that's putting you God said, if we get rich from taking, we're in debt. How are you rich? You can't
babe,
be rich in
what
debt.
We're gonna do? What I'm gonna do, babe? Let me get my printer out and let me print a little bit more money.
Right. Let me print some more money. But hey, it's gonna add a little bit more pressure to us now. What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna start inflating certain costs for everybody that is around. You have new kids now. Let's just say you have new kids in the house.
Absolutely.
Now the new kids got to pay for everything else that the other kids are getting. And so now they're going to feel the pressure. They're not going to really like us. We're going to change the way we do politics. We're not even going to care about the country. We're going to get them distracted by the arguments of these two 80-year-olds trying to run for president. And we're going to get them forgetting. So as they're focused on these 80-year-olds running, now we're going to put black women in there. They're really going to not like that. They're not even going to be focused on us. And so now We're just going to go ahead and let this black woman run against Trump. That's going to be interesting because remember what Hillary did? Oh man, that's going to be crazy for this country.
But wait, hold on. Well, not just that. I'm gonna go to AJ and say, AJ, Alexis has been talking junk about you. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sell you these weapons on discount so we can take care of Alexis on the other side. We need someone else. We need someone else to run this house.
Everyone else is getting stronger, and slowly but surely, they're ready to take your position.
If you knew about
slowly but surely, they know you're in a weak position, getting in a weaker position. Your country's in shambles. Can't nobody talk to each other? Can't nobody just disagree and get country first? All this madness is going on. You're getting weaker. We're gonna take your position one day. And you're the one who funded it. Thank you.
Name me an entitlement.
Thank you very much.
Give me one of these silly entitlements that you're talking about. Because
it's happened. What happened to Rome? Think about Rome, the Roman government back in the days. If you start looking at the Roman government and their debt and everything else the way they ran their country, the way their money was going, and you start looking at that in history, it's actually happened before.
It has. I got some pushback for that. I just gotta re-up on my education on that because I've done some podcast studies on a little bit of podcast. Some
this is a podcast. You can say whatever you want.
right.
You can say whatever you want.
Whatever I want. Just make something up.
Dude, America got $35 trillion in the bank. We can knock that debt out anytime we want. You can say that. Everybody be like,
it's like that though. It's like, I mean, because when you came up with the scenario of they are neighbors,
yes,
I thought Thomas was gonna give you a good tongue lashing. He was real easy on you.
Right.
He's real easy on you because you're taking care of all these households, but your household is falling.
We fine.
You know what I'm saying?
We just fine. We just
fine. Hey, if we would concentrate on just think about this. They've been talking about infrastructure for how long?
Right.
What, the United States? How long they've been talking about infrastructure?
As long as there's been an infrastructure.
You know what I'm saying? But how much commitment are we doing to infrastructure though?
Right. Well, you know that's one of those moments. It's a voting year, and Joe Biden started talking about infrastructure finally. Right. I'm gonna commit this much amount of money to our infrastructure. And it's a voting year though.
What? Because what I will say is when Obama said that, hey, we gonna get the internet nationwide, rural areas included, he committed to it. You know what I'm saying? He committed to that, and just not saying that it's everywhere now. You go up to the Dakotas, and you know what I'm saying, and the Montanas might not be in all the areas, but through every populated city going across America, it's out there. You got the internet. It's access to it. All them communication companies, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, used to be Sprint, but they had to merge because they had their money right. They was like the United States. They had that much tag. They couldn't tax us. If government, they taxing the people, so they gonna always have some bread. As long as you stay in the United States, they'll never go broke. So I will say that. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of big talk, but each president for the last 50 years has always spent a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just spend. Yeah, like when Thomas was talking about we had that surplus in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was in the year 2000.
But in that year, but the reason why we had it, because of one dude,
Clinton. Yep.
Oh yeah.
One dude.
Then the second Bush took it all up.
Okay, we gonna put some stuff. Don't get me wrong now. Clinton had it. He did put the 3 strikes rule out there. So it did hurt a certain demographic. So I can't say it didn't hurt a certain demographic. But overall, if you're just talking about money,
Yeah,
he had some stuff in place that really, put us in a surplus.
we did.
But who would have known that soon as Bush got in office that we were gonna have
9/11.
9/11.
9/11. You know what I'm saying? Which shut the country down. We still had to pay for stuff. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing coming out. We ain't got nothing going out, nothing coming in. So DPD gonna go up because everybody's spending right here. Ain't nobody really making no money. And that lasted for what, 2-3 years before we start
But there's
trusting
no
folks, before we
correction,
start
though.
opening up
That's
stuff.
the problem. No one wants to correct. They just want to double down, and that's the problem. Is spending had to get out of control for reasons. The economy, you had to bail the banks out. But it's not like it's almost like we're in times of urgency now, where every year we have to be functioning in a deficit instead of correction time. Like COVID's over now. We're not trying to recorrect for all those payouts that have been given. There's no correction in what we're doing. No, spending is doubling down. And it kind of goes back to what Reese was saying. And I can't believe I'm agreeing with Reese. But he had a great point. It's for all those entitlements that we want. But Social Security is what people pay into. That's the only thing I would disagree is people paying work into paying Social Security. Everything else are the entitlements that I agree with.
Yeah, but
I agree.
but do you get rid of you? I don't like. Yeah, there is.
Well, and it's not
there's actually there's many countries that do more.
It's not the education. It's not everything. We spend so much money on prisons, and those kinds of things that we're talking about. Those aren't entitlements. Those are protections.
Right.
And so when we start thinking about the protections, also we got to start thinking about why we spend so much into military, why we spend so much into prisons and policing and everything else like that. So there are some things that and government wanting to take away as a Social Security, and that's the one entitlement that they just should leave alone and leave off the table, because people have worked all their lives for this amount of money. And this is something that has been the fabric of the country. Now you want to, destabilize that. And it's when you just start destabilizing systems that people are working into, it becomes the country becomes destabilized. And so,
Yeah, I would agree on that, man. And if you are getting those entitlements, because I think about and those young folks who start having kids before they 21 and really haven't started even working. You have these kids, but you're not really working. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting EBT, or back in the day, food stamps. You getting TAF. You getting whatever entitlements you can for groceries and produce and whatnot. But if they had some type of way to track it, well, hey, we gave you all this up front because you couldn't provide for yourself. But when you do start working, we're gonna put a little extra tax on you so you can pay us back for some of this stuff that we done gave you already now. Don't get me wrong. We're not saying that we're gonna get you homeless and make you starve. But when you do get ready, I mean, it's almost like education. I gotta pay for my education.
Yeah,
so
but
I gotta get this student loan. So you gotta eat. You can't provide for yourself. You're not working, but this child that you just brought in, so you want me to give you enough money so you can provide for the child and yourself, because you don't want to focus and put a plan together where you can go and work and be self-sufficient for you and your child.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. I mean, I hear you, but we pay taxes. We pay taxes for people all the time. That's part of the lay of the land, right?
And there's a tax. I'm saying put another tax on it.
No more taxes.
Right, like how you
tax.
Look, that's like
you gonna tax the struggling person more? You gonna
remember back in the days.
But the struggling person is not giving any money to it.
Yeah, but back in the days, they used to say, "Hey, we're going to do this little 1 cent tax, or we're going to do this little tax here," and we were like, "Okay, 1 cent, nothing." Next thing you know, it's everybody wants a penny here and there. And so those pennies start to add up. The thing about, what Kaneem is saying, there are people who make decisions, and there are things that lead to decisions. And a lot of times when we think about, the structural violence that people face and the systemic issues that we have in this country, sometimes people find themselves in places where they have kids. And it's just like you was out there, I was out there, like all the stuff that I was doing as a little kid, just because I was trying to, man, this doesn't feel good over here, but this show does feel good over here, and just doing that. And and that child pops in, what are we supposed to do? Leave them to fend for themselves? And like you have no skill.
And I'm with you on that.
Starve to death. We need you to starve.
No. I'm not. It's not the child's fault. I'm not. The child don't get EBT. The child don't get entitlement.
But what I'm saying is the EBT is to take care of that child. The child can't get
EBT.
Right. The parent needs something, but at the same time, I agree with you in as far as challenging them to be able to do something different.
Now, let me just put it. Let me put it in a better perspective. So you get EBT. You're getting these entitlements. Not only are you getting these entitlements for food, but now you're gonna get an entitlement for housing. So now you're getting this entitlement for housing, and you also getting an entitlement for education. So all I'm saying is, for that one, you should get some type of payback, a tax, some type of payback. I mean, it ain't gonna happen. It's just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because if you at the poverty level, we want you to be more than that. We give you resources so you can be more than that. But if you choose not to take advantage of the resources that we giving you an opportunity. We giving you some resources. We done gave you some knowledge. We give it, and you choose to ignore or to go the other way with it. And we're supposed to do that till you 50, 60. Because I know folk that, because my mama was on entitlement. We had food stamps, we had government cheese, powdered eggs, powdered milk. We had all that. When I left, when I was 17, 18, the first thing my mama told me to do, make sure you go get you some food stamps, and told me where to go and told me what line to stand in. We ain't got some food stamps. I didn't really need it, but it was free. All I had to do was put an hour into it. We ain't got mine. But my whole point is, at some point, you can't stay on that till you 50, 60, 70 years old, and you don't even try. I was all right. So I know this family. The grandmother who's in her 70s, Section 8, $17 a month. Her daughter in an apartment right next door, paying $17 a month. The granddaughter in a house across the street, $17 a month. Now, ain't nobody trying to work because ain't nobody pushing them to do nothing. You're gonna get you get $17 a month. The government gonna give you some for your utilities. The government gonna give you some for your groceries. The government gonna give you some Medicaid.
So let me tell you something. I wrote this down just the other day, yesterday. Mindset: lower your ability to get money from the system. Lower your mindset and see if you can get reparations. So the thing is, a lot of times people lower their abilities so they can qualify for these entitlements. Which then you got to stay at that lower level.
Right. That's the part you don't understand. Getting out.
And I said, a lot of times when we start thinking about the overall bigger picture of reparations, people sometimes take that same mindset for reparations and say, if I lower my ability and keep my ability down here, maybe then they will give us reparations because they need to see that we can be raised up, right? And I said, the new mindset is raise your mindset and your functionality to your full ability. You will do much better, and they still owe you reparations. And so, I wrote that down the other day. But the other thing, Kaneem, though, have you ever saw someone or a movie where someone did something to a family member, like I was in war and I killed your daddy by accident, but now I'm subtly taking care of you through, you don't even know I'm taking care of you.
Yes.
And when you think about, these entitlements and the plan of welfare and everything else like that, if the country did better in education, balancing education and making communities better and everything else, then the people that we're talking about right now would have the opportunities to elevate that mindset and to get to that point. But because of the
I agree 100%.
social determinants of health that are in these communities that have been researched over and over, and they know these are a part of the problem, because they're not being addressed, then on the back end, I'm just going to subtly throw you some of these entitlements over here. And I'm going to, and you kind of get addicted to that, because who doesn't like to sit at home and chill and get paid?
Well, not just
right?
that. Not just
I
that.
agree. I got to
push
you just said, Thomas, I agree 100%, brother.
The gap to getting out of a situation where I have been assisted is challenging, because now, like you said, if she's paying $17, right, to get out, probably now would be like $1,700. The gap to get out is huge. It's huge. And if I'm a parent, I'm teaching my child a way to survive. That's all I got. Either here's the education. I can talk about the educational path, but I don't know it. Like I can show it to you. Like about the best example they probably have is call your Uncle Kaneem and see if you can get in with whatever he doing. You know what I'm saying? Because like Bronny, call the next person next to you and see if you can get in what they're doing so that you can get on a better path. A lot of it's networks,
but here's the thing, though.
Connections.
What we're talking about in these entitlements, they're not just for one group of people.
Absolutely. Everybody
have different backgrounds. So we can't forget that there's so many other people benefiting.
Absolutely. A lot of
but it's a shame that, like, as we look at the country, we forget there's oppressive forces in the way this country has been developed, and so it's not
but just think about it though. Just think about it though, man. See, my whole thing is that it's a lifestyle, and you're doing it for life. You know what I'm saying? Right. It should be some type of line. You know what I'm saying? Some type of something. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you do it for 5 years. I needed help for 5 years. Okay, well, this is what you got to do for a short amount of time. I'm not saying tax that person for life.
Well, okay, so there's a way of manipulating the system. I've worked with thousands of people in this same scenario where if they get off of this assistance, they're going to be in worse situations than being on assistance. Like they can't cover the gap between being off assistance and on assistance, and you're just going to put me in a situation. So if a person finds themselves in that situation and they have to manipulate the system a little bit to continue to get it, they learn this is generational manipulation that they know how to do. And Kaneem, as a man, is different than women also, because let's just say a woman is getting, these benefits, and then she has another child. And, if two people right now, we already know if two people can't come together and work together, more than likely trying to make it in this space and place we call life is hard. And so a lot of times they don't have that additional support. They don't have the other needed devices to be able to just live in a comfortable way. So they supplement that with the government. And so and it's one of those things that, as we start looking at the hardships of life, that inflation that we were talking about, the inflation cost keeps people in certain positions, because right now, what you could afford 5 years ago, you can't afford today.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna cut it off because I know my brother's got to go. We're gonna shut it down. But I will say it's a little more complicated, because sometimes in our path of getting to a certain space, we got to realize how we got there.
Mhm.
And it's not just hard work. It's not just hard work. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Freestyle Friday. Thank you guys for the conversation. Wait, 5 years ago was good. Shots fired. Look, good shot. Good shot. Good shot.
What did he say?
He said, wait, 5 years ago, Trump was president. That was good.
Well,
I'm
wait
gonna
a
give you
minute.
that, Jeff.
His policies led into what we have today. So I'm not even gonna go there, Jeff.
Oh, all right. We see you tomorrow. We take care. Listen, 988. If you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis, make sure you dial 988. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. Stay safe. Make good choices. And check in on your brothers and sisters. They may need your assistance. All right. Peace out.